Hello, this is Sherry. I know everybody's been asking for me to do a tutorial on this Firefly lamp. So I'm going to show you today how I made it. So the supplies that you need are these fairy lights, and I got them off of Amazon. And they come in 16 packs. I'll have a link below to where you can get them. And you'll need Podge adhesive. And today I'm going to do this one in yellow. But it's tissue paper just torn up into pieces. And instead of a fairy, I'm going to make a gazebo. So I took the Halloween die from Diamond Press, and I cut 2 of those cenders out, just the cenders I took, and I'm going to glue them together to make a gazebo to put on the jar. The jar has come from Dollar Tree, and the label is made out of plastic, so it's easy to pull off. You don't have to worry about it sticking to your any paper that you have to worry about, which is really nice. See how quick it comes off. Okay. So let's begin. So I take the tissue papers, and I start off with the Podge glue, and this is just a regular paintbrush. It's a 3/4 inch paintbrush because it's easy to reach in here. But I start gluing the inside of the jar, just so the tissue paper will start sticking. And I just put on a thin layer if I can just get it in all sorted out. And it doesn't have to be fancy, because once you're toward tissue paper, it will show you. Just make sure you get it all covered so the tissue paper does stick to it. And I do up above here, even though the lid will cover it. And then I'll just start taking pieces and hooking them onto my brush. I'll start at the bottom and tap them in, and just what glues on my brush, I just keep massaging it in. And this will continue to, in some places where you overlap it, it will get a little darker, but it gives it I think a stained glass look or something. And this don't take too long to dry. I do have to dip in here though, because this is over this one. There we go. I try to make sure that there is, the whole thing is covered in the inside with tissue paper, so that you're unable to see the silhouette of and it doesn't really take much tissue paper to do. Oops. Oh, that's going to be a little thicker there. Wait a minute, I need one down. It is a little tricky to get some of the pieces in, but once you start moving along with it, it goes fairly fast. Now, when I get to the top here, I will roll these in. Like I said, you won't see that. A couple more pieces and the paper should be all put in and covered. Looks like I cut pretty much tissue paper, or ripped up pretty much today. That's okay. I use them to make flowers too. So, and the flower that I did, I made with Diamond Press. What was it? The alphabet kit. I cut like 6 layers. Okay, so this is what you'll have then. It's all covered. Whoops, I missed a spot. And I'll always check it here to make sure. And I'll stick this right there. That's covered. Good. Okay. So now that I'm finished with the tissue paper, set this off to the side. And put this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 pieces of the porch from the haunted house, and I'm going to take my Nouveau Deluxe glue and just figure out how I want to make it to look like a gazebo. And I kind of want the steps to show a little bit. So I will set it like that. And what I do is I just hold here and I just run the bead just between here. And this glue dries really fast. I really love this glue. And I'll just do the bottom here a little bit too. Okay, so once I have that glued together, I will take my I want to make sure I have the rough side. Okay, I will take my, oh, what the heck is this called? I'm so nervous, girls and guys. Foam folder. And I'll just curve this a little bit because this is going to be going inside just a little bit. So it like breaks up the fibers. So when I'm figuring out, I lay the pieces on top of my jar to make sure they'll fit. Because if I this is where I figure out if I need to trim anything also. So what I'll do then is I will smudge this all full of glue because this is going to be against the wall, the smooth part. And then I'll take this and drop it in here. And try to straighten it out the best that I can. Can you see in there? And now it doesn't look like you can really see it good in here, but once the lights are in, you'll be able to. So now I'll take another layer of glue and glue to the back of this. To make sure it stays stuck. And I figured I'd lay this out. This is going to be a Mother's Day present. This one is. And So I wanted something for the back of this. So I have like leaves all cut out. This is from Hero Art from the Mushroom and Fern collection. And I just use the green ones because it's gonna show through with the silhouette. And then this was from Diamond Press on the starter kit. So what I did was I was laying it, trying to figure out that like I want it across from the center of the jar. So I will lay this that it goes down. Whoops. So I'm going to do the scan thing, make sure that I have this all covered. And you're going to get messy. And then I'll stick it in the jar, looking to make sure it's directly across. And I'll push down a little bit and come up. And it's pretty good where I have it. Okay, so then I'll paint in here. And overnight, this usually dries, it will dry clear. So it has like a milky look to it right now. And then this one, I kind of want it to be like this. Or maybe I'll bring it up like that. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to take it down, drop it down, and move it around with the paintbrush a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And just tap this down. Okay. So that's the end of the gluing with the Mod Podge. And I usually let that like set up and dry for a while. But I'm going to continue going on and show you. I'm going to put my brush in this wet so I go out to wash it out. And wipe my hands a little. Okay. Now, I cut a piece of paper to cover this battery pack. The battery pack does have a little tab to save the battery so it doesn't get on. And I do check them before I even set them up. And they're like coiled up, and you have to they use the end to like loop it through to lock it. So what I will do is I will put this back in here because now that I know it works. So I cut a piece of paper that is 3 inches wide by 1 3/4 inches. And see, you can unscrew these to replace the batteries. That's why I got these. And once it goes in to slide in this container, it hides it, and then you cover it with the flowers for on the lid. So I scored it at 1/4 inch, and then I scored it at 5/8 of an inch. Then I scored it at 1 5/8, and then I scored it at 2 inches. So once I fold them all to make like a little slip pocket, what I'll do is I'll take the Nuvo glue and just glue the edge here and fasten these together and just hold it a little bit, massaging it. Like I said, this glue dries really fast. The next thing I'll do is I'll test it to make sure that it slides in and out to replace the batteries. Okay, so once I have that fixed the way I want it, I will take the lid, and the lid has like a styrofoam piece on it, but I keep it in there. And what I'll do is I will close the lid, and I know I want this for the front. So I will figure out how I'm going to set this up that the handle will go around to that the front is showing. So I see the wires are here, so I know I have to punch my hole right in here. So I take my poker from Diamond Press, and I usually set it, because I'm finger setting here, and this is real like fine aluminum, and I just take a little pressure and poke it through like that, and then you'll have the hole. So once I have the hole in there, it will go right through the bottom there. So the next thing that I do is I start to uncoil this, because I want to feed this all through the lid. And it starts to look pretty ratty once you're pulling it through. And it does, if you don't watch how you're uncoiling it, it gets knotted up in here too. So once it's uncoiled, it doesn't matter if it's knotted up in the jar, because then it looks like the real fireflies are buzzing around inside the jar. Or ladybug, or night, what do they call them? I call them fireflies. They call them lightning bugs. See what I mean? If you take your time, you can figure out how to get them unknotted. But there's a lot of lights on here, and there we go. And that hole is just big enough. It's actually bigger than you need. I got it knotted again. Ay, ay, ay. And I can't seem to get it under the, it's like looped in there. And you don't want to pull it that it gets knotted more, because I don't know if it would, because it's copper wiring, if it would snap. Wait a minute. I might take it through this way since it's shorter. Just keep rolling. Okay, there we go. All right. I thought I got it, but I don't have it. Because you want to get all this copper wiring in the jar. All right, so now this gets thicker in here. So you're gonna have to tug a little bit. So it's good that the hole is, I forgot about that they put this plastic coating. So you have to like jiggle it around. There we go. And now what I'll do is I'll make sure that I didn't break any, so they all work yet. Yep. Turn that back off. Put this piece back in so I don't lose it. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, I know this isn't dry, but I just wanted to show you. I'm going to stick these in. It's not going to hurt it. But I just bunch it up. And stick them in. This is going to be a knot mess when I stick them in though. Okay, so I'm going to test it again before I go. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, I'm going to do the lid on. Okay. There we go. Oh, I kind of like the green now that I did that. This looks nice. Okay, so now that I have that figured out, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna turn on my hot glue gun, plug it in, and begin to start putting the pieces in together, because this one will be glued on here. So I took, like I said, I took copier paper and yellow tissue paper and cut out two this size, but I laid the tissue paper on top of the copier paper, and then I laid another copier paper and tissue paper and cut it all out at once. And then I did two of these same way, copier, tissue, and then I went and took a hole punch and put a brad in there, and it was all flat. So what I did was I crunched this up like this, and I started rolling it to get a flower look, and it gives it really a natural look, and it has many petals. And so I was cheating a little bit here. I went and got these that were already at the Hobby Lobby, and I figured I'd show you. I usually buy white that are pre-cut, and I found this in at the Dollar Tree. It's cake decorating tools, and I got a makeup pad, and I found out that if you take this end, you can make your flowers pretty nice and just shape them, because they already had the gems in them, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to shape these. So these had glitter on them, if you can see. So I might roll these. Anyways, this tool had like all different shapes. So I'm going to try this one. And like I said, it was from the Dollar Tree, and it was in the, over by the, they had it with baked stuff. Okay, and when I saw this one, I thought, oh, you could take this and fold petals in half and make like sunflowers with it too. And is that all I have? Must be. Okay. So, and this is a pre-bought flower. So I took the sunflower light, the eggplant medium, and eggplant light. And I'm going to do the top in blues and purples. So I think I'm going to show you what I used the brush part of it. And I usually hold for the papers, and I just add my colors like this. And usually I cut out white flowers and do this to customize them the way I want them. So I'm going to take the light purple with the fine tip to do this one. And what I'll do is I'll just brush out, because this is glittery paper. Just add a little touch of yellow or purple, light purple in it. Oops. See, the glitter paper color's nice. So then I'm going to take this, and I will just put strips in. And the other one, I'm just going to do the edges and leave the white in the center. It will give it a different look too. And there you have 3 exact flowers, but have a different look. And the leaves are also from the tile alphabets. And I cut them out in different colored greens. And I decided I might put this ladybug one. I got this at the Hobby Lobby too. It was in the spring section. I'm going to probably take off and hot glue that on. I had butterflies too. I was going to add in there. I still don't know because they're in my stash. I don't know if I should. You know what? I'm gonna. Okay, let me take this out. See, I'm just gonna pop 1 or 2 in here. Where did I put my brush? And my glue. Create a little movement in there. Oh, this is hard with the lights in now. Ay, ay, ay. But you can see it pretty good. Uh-oh. It's not letting go of my finger. Where's that other butterfly? Okay, that one going down. I'll put this one up in here. Let me move this a little bit. Let me move the lights a little bit over so I can, oops. Maybe I'll have him going up. Wait. There we go. Okay. I won't put the other one on. I don't think. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay, hold on. Yes, I will. Put this one up here. He's a tiny little one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put this lid back on again. I'm going to make sure the wire's out a little bit too, so I can pull it in and out. So I'm going to slide the piece where I have this glued. I'm going to slide that to the bottom. Okay. I'm going to make sure I have it, okay. Okay. Once that's stuck on, the next thing I want to do is I want to glue some leaves together to stick. So just dab a little bit of glue in here. Set them offset. And then I know I'll be putting this flower here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another little dab of glue in. And then that covers up the hole and everything too. So you can see my brad down here. I'm going to glue a little bit in here. And then I'm going to stick this down in here on top of that box. Back to crunching this up. Now I'll be taking this purple one that I colored. Just a minute. Try to get that in there. Stick that to the back there. And hold it a little bit. And then I want to see if I want to pop some. Maybe I'll pop this one in here. Making sure I can still get this in and out. Yep. Okay. I will put a sparkly blingy one here. You know what? I might put it on here. Yeah. Bend it a little bit. Add more shape to it. Glue underneath here. And set this one in here. Like that. And now I gotta decide. Okay, I guess I'll put it there. There's no right and wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You just put your things. You know what? It feels like I need greenery back there too. Okay, I might snip this because I always keep extra greens that I have in my leaf collection. This off to the sticky part, but I'm definitely going to careful that I don't burn my fingers. And put this ladybug right in here. Okay. Oh, I had a piece of this too I could have used. Tool. Maybe I'll stick this in too. To add a little more fill. Yeah. Okay. Let me get this. I just have pieces laying all over the place when I'm working, and this is how I am with doing everything. Okay, let's see that up there. So what I wrapped it with was this twine. It's natural, the twine. And first of all, what I want to do is I want to figure out, oops, sorry. I want to figure out how far I want to let the hang it. That looks good there. So first I got to figure out if this is the side that I want it on, and make sure that I can still get that battery out. Yeah. Okay. This hot glue is really stringy. And it does come off your toe. The poker. I'm always using it. Okay. So now I'll begin wrapping this. So I will start on this side. And I'll just run a little bit of a beading across the back here. And keep it attached. Run along the top. And I'm going over so it secures it in. And just keep going around. I think I went around 3 times with the other ones. Let's see how many times I go around with it. And it has like a natural look to it. Oops. I do like the green now. I didn't even think the color would show through, but now I see that it does. So I learned something myself today with this. So if you want to use like a solid color, you want to use your fairies or something in pink or purple. Okay, here's the back. I think I'm going to stop right here. you go. That is your little Firefly lamp. And then the top of it, as you can see, it's easy to get your pack out if you need to change the battery. And it looks like they take watch batteries. But to this dries, this you won't be able to see really, but with the green here. So they can use this as a nightlight or a little decoration. I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. I'm probably going to do some more tutorials and might show you with more flowers, how I might work with my flowers. And thanks for looking.